Well, new construction is selling like hotcakes. What is going on? We're gonna take a deep dive into what we're actually seeing on a national scale, and then we're gonna get into the local scale here in Florida and help us understand what's going on in the overall real estate market. My name is Brad Dohack. I'm gonna jump right into it. All right, so a new report just came out. This is from an article on Business Insider and talks about new construction and how new construction is taking off so drastically. And the reality here is that in COVID times, what happened is that people couldn't get new construction, right? It wasn't an option because they sold everything in quick order and then they didn't have the supply available to be able to give to those possible home purchasers. And the resale side of the business saw an amazing amount of growth. Prices and resales went up more than what new construction were, and that hardly ever happened. Generally speaking, people are willing to pay a premium for a brand new construction home because nobody's ever lived in it before. You get all of the home warranties, new mechanicals, everything that you get with new construction. People generally like that. If they're going to choose an equal price, people are going to choose new construction all day long. COVID changed things a bit in that new construction wasn't available, and so people focused on resale properties and the price of resales went up significantly. Fast forward to today, and we have quite the opposite that's happening here. So the days on market for resale properties are starting to grow significantly, and new construction is starting to ramp up significantly as well. And so we're looking at a 20% year-over-year increase in new construction sales, which is astronomical. That's massive in the scheme of things, and is about a 16% increase just month over month from, this is April to May stats that we were looking at there. And so these are really big, significant numbers. Now, here's the deal. With new construction, a lot of times the builders also have ways to be able to incentivize the buyers with certain things. So number one would be, incentive towards options and upgrades and make them feel really good about their purchase. And then the other big one is they can also potentially help on the financial side of things. So a lot of the bigger builders, they have their own mortgage companies, their own title companies, etc. And a lot of times what they'll do is they'll tie you in and say, well, if you use our mortgage company, we will give you X amount towards closing costs. If you use our title company, we'll give you X amount towards, something else. And so with the interest rates being where they are today, it's a big component on why what's happening is happening. And by the way, the builders can also buy down a potential interest rate, meaning they can put money towards an interest rate that's lower for the purchaser so they can lock in a rate that is a little better than 6.5% or so. And so that's a really big deal. Now let's talk about the interest rates and why all of this is happening in terms of the new construction preference. So put yourself in a position where you purchased a home in 2020, 2021, somewhere in there, and you locked in an interest rate of about 3.5%, 3.5%, somewhere in there. Now you're like, this home isn't exactly what I want, so I'm thinking about making a move. Let's say you need more bedrooms, you want to upgrade a little bit, whatever that looks like. You're going to go out there and you need another mortgage, and now you have to pay between 6 and 7%, and you're like, well, I have a 3% mortgage over here. I could pay double the amount of interest, or I could not, and I could just remodel and stay where I am. And I know personally, this is something that my wife and I talk about often. We've got a very low interest rate. She would like to make the move. It just doesn't make a whole lot of financial sense. And so I'm in that same boat that it doesn't make sense for us to move. So what that does is that puts a significant constraint upon the supply of available resale properties, right? If you have a reluctance for people to move because they don't want to lose their interest rate, then we're going to pull back some of the supply that otherwise would be available for people to choose instead of waiting or buying new construction. That's what's going on here. And right now, roughly 85% of current homeowners have an interest rate of less than 5%, which is significant. Think about that. 85% is going to be paying more money, assuming they need a mortgage, if they make a move. And about 50% of the people are at 3.5% or less. It's like, why? Why would you make that move? And so this is why new construction is blowing up the way that it is. Now, taking things locally, we're seeing the same thing here in the local market where the new construction communities are booming. Sales are happening like crazy. We get a lot of inquiries about new construction, and a lot of times with the newer communities, if we're looking at a master plan development, especially in Southwest Florida, there's like newer amenities. We have full indoor pickleball courts. So the amenities are just amazing. There's whiskey bars, there's all kinds of resort style pools. You name it, the new construction communities do, and they appeal to what people currently want. And so that's a really nice incentive to be able to make a move, and then you get financial incentives, brand new home. There's a lot of reasons to do that. Now, if you're looking for new construction, reach out. I'm going to put a home dream list right below this. And what a lot of people don't understand is that new construction, you actually can be represented, and it doesn't cost you any more money. The builder doesn't charge any differently to have representation. And a lot of times we can help with the negotiations to get an even better deal and follow up on the process. So make sure to fill out that home dream list below. And as always, thanks for watching. Hope you have an amazing day, and we'll talk soon. Thanks.